So, welcome. I just want to pop on today, and I just want to slow down. I just want to invite you right now to just slow everything down. Close your eyes. Just shut your eyes. Take off my glasses. Close your eyes. Take some time and just relax. Just relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Doesn't matter how you do it. Just if you let out the sound, like notice how when you make that sound, you know, or just anything that's natural, whatever makes you feel more grounded, whatever lets go of the stress, of the, of all the stuff going on in your head, of all the criticism, of all the, that little guy that just drives you crazy in your head. It's making peace with that. And at the same token, you're the boss, you're in charge. And don't take my word for it. I was listening to a little TED talk of Deborah Silverman, an astrologer, the first astrologer I have ever known and watched. I came across her in, I believe it was April 2019 for the first time. This is when I was starting to really get into astrology. And I first discovered her when I started to watch one of her zodiac sign impressions. She was doing it for my sign for Aries. And at first I thought, well, that's a little kind of, um, you know, over the top and I was looking for something that, naturally looking for something that described me. Um, I didn't know too much about it, but I could gather that it was kind of simplifying type. But then just moving beyond that, I saw it again after seeing other impressions, and then boom. I started with her. So Deborah Silverman, you can find her under the list of my channels. You can subscribe to her channel, and I would recommend maybe subscribing to all of the astrology channels, all the other channels, because I'm pretty versatile when it comes to what I want to do, my interests for things. I can't be, I'm open. You know, it's okay to have multiple, areas because it means that you're open. Well, not necessarily. I mean, you could be super fixated, super, determine what you want to do and be open. But you can also be open through having multiple things that you want to do, multiple jobs, multiple careers. I mean, it's good to have different interests and have a very wide range and wide palette of interests and things that you like doing, things that you enjoy watching, reading, enjoy listening to, enjoy talking about, enjoy eating, enjoy spending time with these certain people. I mean, whatever it is. So she was doing this thing where she was talking about Mercury as the little voice in your head that bothers you, and it's all about not letting that get the better of you and establishing control. Oh, and I did a live stream yesterday. I think that I mentioned that that little voice in your head should be the thing that does the harsh criticism. That should be the thing. It shouldn't come from the external world, especially with the node in Taurus or whatever it is, but, especially during this time. And, yeah. So anyway, that was that. I looked at the South Node in Scorpio the other day. I'm looking at the North Node in Taurus today. Okay. So I started off with a little breath and the shutting of your eyes. Now, if you don't like the smell of your breath for whatever reason, like sometimes I'm breathing and I mean, my mouth might feel dry or I might make the taste of my breath and you can go, drink something or, eat something because, you know, sometimes I notice, well, I really, really need flavor, especially when you're, wearing a mask. It kind of can get uh, just, uncomfortable, and then you feel like you have to kind of fake it and get your mind in the right place. And that's not what this live stream is about. This is about dropping in, and when you shut your eyes and when you just breathe and relax, you get grounded. You drop in, and that is humility. I want to say that. And that is being grounded. And it can be the way to get to gratitude. Now, I think the shadow side of the logical web brain is just being fake. It's just being, having to, do this because it's right, of the ethics and the morals of this because it's a right and because this is what is expected of me. This is just, the way to do it, and this is just immoral, that kind of thing. It's not about working at gratitude. I mean, you can't just be something. You can't just be grateful. I have another live stream about that where that's not enough. I made that clear. How do you do it? It doesn't come from thinking and trying to change your perspective in your mind. No. It comes from relaxation. It comes from Taurus. It comes from slowing down, relaxing, dropping into your heart. When you do that, possibly frequency up could go up. In terms of frequency, Braga Goldsmith talks all about frequency. Um, and also just, you being more in the present moment, you're more grounded, you are more stable feeling, you're more patient, you're more open hearted. And, you know, you know, you don't have to think to get your heart and your mind in a certain mode. Stop thinking, stop overthinking. Just relax and just surrender to what is, surrender to how you're feeling at this moment. And you don't need to be so critical of it. Don't be so critical of being so critical, even. So, whatever I hear that, I always feel like the thing to say would be to not be so critical of being so critical. Because I don't want to say something that sounds so easy and so good intellectually. And then when it comes to the experience, it's different. I do not want to say that. I don't want to sit here, give advice that for me personally, I hear it and then, oh, it sounds so lovely, sounds so good and simple. But then some things, not all things, but some things I try and the experience is just not, it's just different, not as easy. Maybe it doesn't come naturally. Maybe it's not something that you can just tap into all the time. I want to give the analogy of the balloon. Once again, this is my analogy. The balloon has helium, and helium can escape from the balloon when this object just hits the balloon and tries to like get the helium out of it. That's like other people just testing your patience and get that helium. And eventually the balloon has so little helium that it just drops to the ground and crashes, and that's when you explode. So if that's okay, that's a red flag. Notice, take note of any situation where it may test your patience. You have to get your mind in a certain place, and you're trying to get your mind at that place, and it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like, how you feel, but you have to do this in order to make you feel more grounded, more humble, more whatever. Don't. Let go and relax. Relax. I said Mars and Capricorn, really, really being ambitious and being, accomplishing your goals, but not overworking yourself when you notice that you're overworking. And it's wonderful to, be into it and working so incredibly fast, and this and that. Um, but if you feel like you're overworking and you're, just exhausting yourself, tiring yourself out, like you're doing something physical and your body's getting exhausted and you know uh and you know just working so fast and so hard. Stop working so hard. I got off of my shift work program today, and the bus would pick me up only 5 minutes later. 5 minutes. And used to it being 150, not 155. Well, it was 155 today. So I decided, well, I'm going to be here for some time. And in the past, I have done things at kind of the normal speed, and I was just kind of bored after, doing it, and then, you know, trying to find some, keep myself busy so I'm not bored and always checking my phone to see what the time is right and getting my stuff ready and leaving. Um, so I kind of was like, okay. And I just slowed myself down. And I noticed that I was doing it. And I just kind of went through things slowly and, you know, slowly and steadily, gradually. And it grounded and relaxed me. It's so funny how you can feel really good when it's these strange random moments. And I remember when I slowed down and, 113, looked at my phone, there's some time left. I can definitely. So I continued to kind of slow down and move steadily through things that I found. I thought I was more open hearted and not as, tight and, having my guard on. Um, really I kind of let loose, and I was more authentic and more relaxed and more myself around people. And so I just clean and I just focus on the moment, the now, focused on, what I'm doing and, you know, occupying myself and just feeling a feeling of gratitude, of groundedness as well. At that moment, at that time, and I wasn't, just waiting for things to be over. I was like, okay, I'll slow down and I'll, you know, focus upon what I'm doing and do it slowly and steadily. And that was the thing. So it's a changing of your perspective to something more positive, not through, just in this sort of state of thinking, no, relax. Just relax. 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 Slow down. Relax. Simple. I want to make this simple. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't want to overcomplicate. I don't want to theorize. I don't want to jinx things. It's something I say and experience I have now will not be the way it probably will be in the future. That's what I don't want. So I'm trying to make this as cut and dry and simple and applicable as possible. And so North Node in Taurus is slow and steady. It is very grounded in the now, worthy, of feeling like I am enough, I have enough, connected with the senses, connected, it rules things in the physical world, the physical body, the senses, what you're seeing, what you're doing, you know. It is very visual and very active learner, learning through doing as opposed to something like that with activating the senses. So maybe senses could be heightened, like, the sound of the piece of music that you're listening to, the smell of that really rich beef stew that's cooking in the kitchen, the feel of the blanket that I'm feeling right now, and the bed, and my pants, and just rubbing on my knees, um, seeing all that I'm seeing. Good time to look at like nature images or paintings or, art. Looking at art also. So, all of these things, just in the now, and with that comes more compassion and love and kindness, patience as well. What doesn't feel like the helium in your balloon is suppression is just going away. That's a red flag. Something to take note of. And and I found that when I did that, I was more, again, loose, open hearted, relaxed. I wasn't as, having my guard up, and having my having a wall, a natural wall I was listening to. And when I'm saying this, I don't mean this as in an extreme way at all. I'm just talking about natural, normal things. I'm not meaning this, but I say these things in any extreme sense of the words at all, and I want to clarify that because Scorpio is extreme and intense. Taurus is gentle and it's realistic, it's practical. Um, you know, it, you know, so not making things so big as well, letting them go and comes from releasing all those emotions, all that baggage, that intensity and obsession, and all of that South Node, dark side energy. When I say South Node, I mean the dark side of Scorpio. When I say North Node, I am not only talking about Taurus, but I'm talking about the higher vibration of Scorpio. So I just want to own if I would say that by labeling it. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why make a good thing a bad thing? You know, medical people. Why? Why? There's nothing wrong with healing, transforming, being loyal, being committed, driven, letting go, releasing spiritual, all these type of things. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, and then you have to, do this. No, 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 no. Because it's like you have to do it. I mean, it doesn't feel natural. It should feel like, it should feel natural to stretch or to just move into it. Shouldn't feel something like so foreign that's just natural, like to work at it, force yourself, all this type of thing. No, 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 no. And I think it would be natural to ground and, you know, I mean, may not be, I mean, it's not going to be hard work, but it is also not going to be reverting back to the negative stuff as well. So it's somewhere in between. And that is intellectual, just to say. Anyway. So, well, so, all that South Node Scorpio energy, Taurus is really practical. Very, very practical sign. And it relates to Mother Earth and feeling worthy and feeling grounded from a loving, compassionate place. It isn't about, when I talked about getting your power back, I did not mean like, being like being all, powerful and in the negative sense and mighty and, rebellious and this and that, but just gentle, grounded, connecting with your senses and what you want and need, and, connected and going, no. And that's sort of healthy detachment. And right now, I want to emphasize that. So, that is the direction where we're going. And it's a wonderful North Node place. It's such, wonderful because, Scorpio also looks at a lot of that intense risk taking, and Taurus is about what makes you feel happy and content and comfortable. And so this is a really wonderful place. And also, on the other hand, North Node being in Scorpio, it doesn't mean like it does not mean like that, things are going to be difficult and people are going to be more powerful and things like that. No, 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 no. It could indicate that we may put so much value on material things that it comes from stepping back and, you know, and not, and the feeling like we don't have enough of the material things. and also stubbornness, defensiveness, and releasing all that fixation. That would be lower vibration of Taurus. That would be what it would mean for the South Node Taurus. The North Node is always going to be positive. South Node is what we're moving away from. We want to move away from the negative stuff. We want to be in the positive stuff. We want to move away from the negative stuff. That North Star, you know, is the higher the South Node can lead us there. The Northern Star. Or maybe the high road to the South Node equals possibly the North Node and can lead us there, as I said. So that's so important to know. North Node Star is an invitation. It is positive. It is where we feel like, collectively and individually, like where we need to go. And also, it is what would make us feel satisfied and fulfilled and better um, in life. What we need to, move into not by thinking, but just by not thinking, not overworking and not overstressing and not hurting your brain, because that isn't going to get you anywhere. It's like when you're reading something, you just overthink it, try to feel how that character feels. Oh, and you can't because it's that energy of you're thinking and sitting there and trying to imagine, trying to empathize. Give up already. Give up. Relax. It's okay to think. When you exhaust your brain in a in that whole circle, let go of it. I don't want to create a fear around the thinking and, be detached from that, because that's been kind of being detached, you know, and limiting yourself versus being attached and getting all conscious and critical. That's been a balancing act. That's been something to kind of come into the middle ground with. And I think that there is a way. And that may come from grounding, especially meditating is wonderful during this time. Sound healing, the certain frequency, which is heart energy, as well playing music, journaling, all these types of things, getting outside in nature, um, all of this, cooking, doing things with your hands, something physical, gardening. I mean, there's so much you can do. It's going to really, really open up the gate towards love, nourishment, compassion, care, because Venus is the planet of love and beauty and harmony and balance. And it's a great opportunity to be stable and being open through the heart and mind, grounding. And maybe it's a good opportunity to test yourself, during when you feel during this time, to see, now that I feel, in this way, now that I feel so grounded, open hearted, um, all of this, then I found like I went back and connected with a person that my personality and his personality, it doesn't, we're very, very different. And I found, hey, the connection feels more natural, um, feel more, loose and comfortable around this person. Not because I just overthink and trying to get my mind to change my perspective and change my way of looking at them, but by just slowing down, relaxing, and you know, dropping in. It's an open heartedness. It's not the mind. It, it is the mind. but the heart is the one that is so generous, giving, bright and big, and full of love and all those types of things, especially with the upcoming full moon in Leo, which will be coming up, which is really about opening up the heart. So we have North Node in Taurus with all that I've talked about, and we're going to be having a full moon in Leo. Moon in Leo, if you think about the moon, emotions and nurturing, you know, very dynamic, very generous, loving, so loyal. It's just so big-hearted, big-hearted energy. So it's a real balance between Aquarius and Leo. Aquarius, is very intellectual, and it's also kind of wanting to do its own thing, whereas Leo is, you know, opening up and connections and heart energy. And maybe the high road of that sign can come from the opposite sign. I think signs can evolve through the opposite signs in the same mode. Opposite signs in the same mode, cardinal types mutable, and through other signs as well. So, thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful 18 months in this transit, and give this video a like so that more people can see it. You can share this video as well. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell to get notified about my future videos. And have a wonderful rest of your day or whenever you're watching this. Bye.